Alice Clover, who the hell are you? What do you know about this code?
Why do you know about this code? It's just a code.
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that.
Wait, how do they know it's a Myrmidon code? If they don't know what the code is.
Because they were trained on what Myrmidon codes look like.
It's just a fucking no. It's just some letters. How do you?
Yeah,
know
only the
Myrmidon
Myrmidons use English.
What the fuck? We don't even know if it's English yet.
Well, it can't be Japanese. You can't make a letter cipher in Japanese. It doesn't work. Because it would literally be like you could somehow make an insulting sentence out of doing that kind of encryption. Because each letter has different meanings when next to different letters.
Yeah.
So you could like have one message that's like, don't go in the house, it has a bomb, and you shuffle it around. It's like, your mom was a whore and you disrespect everyone. And it's like,
Jesus,
what happened? It's like someone looks at the letters like, it's not even a code, it's just some really rude comment on YouTube. Like,
this guy's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Just what the hell kind of job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry,
We're also here.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not.
Really? And where's your proof?
Well, I'm the one trying to catch them and providing this evidence.
I gave you evidence.
I saved your life.
That'd
be a weird thing to do when I'm blowing this place up.
Yeah, I also saved your life when I knew that you were fighting against enemies of the state, which is basically... you just told me you're some kind of government agent, so that means you're against the Myrmidon. So if I was a Myrmidon, I'd be like, oh, that bitch was not... like...
Seriously, I saved 2 of your lives.
For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
Bitch! I'm not your enemy.
What happened to I thank you from the bottom of my heart?
I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine, if you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
Seriously?
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
God damn it.
You can't talk to me about the Myrmidons.
Before I could blink, she leapt up and ran out of the room.
Wow.
Catch her, she's wearing heels.
Hey, wait, Alice.
Isn't she wearing heels?
Yeah.
I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Why don't you...
I wanted to hear from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond.
Is this the fall in love with all the girls playthrough path?
Yeah.
We just had the Luna line where we had a similar conversation.
I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
For killing us? That's a one timeline ago.
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could.
I mean, it's not, you can't escape a bomb explosion by running.
Well, you eventually can. Depends on how
Not
big
in a
the bomb
building.
is. Well, yeah. Well, we don't know how big the bomb is. Maybe it sucks. It's just an embarrassing bomb. Like, we didn't think this planet did
I don't
very
think
well.
I don't think you put a glass display case on an embarrassing
we also
bomb.
think these bombs might have been in stasis for like 20 years. Remember the whole time skip we think happened?
Oh yeah.
Like, how old are these bombs that we're just trusting work?
Well, maybe I mean, we know Dio planted them.
Yeah,
Which is recent.
But what if they suck now? He doesn't know that.
Well, it was recent.
Yeah, but don't we think that Dio broke in before the time skip? And then was put in stasis?
I don't know.
Although if he killed her before the time skip, then why is she not like super corpsey?
Yeah.
So maybe he broke in now? But then why does he think it's this year?
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he knows what year it is and he's just lying.
He's just fucking with everyone?
Yeah.
How would he know that everyone else was supposed to not know?
I don't know.
Things just went downhill from there.
What do you
I
mean?
remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying, and everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real.
Oh, I heard that before. When I was being described what Radical 6 is.
Yeah, except only like the third time we heard its description did we finally figure out what they meant.
Did you read the plot too?
Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could.
That is a face.
What? Ah!
That is a face. Huh.
That is a porn face.
Maybe it's good this game's not animated.
I'm not comfortable with that.
That's not the mouth they have when they talk, is it? That's a different mouth than they
Yeah.
normally have. That's what. It's probably one of the things that's so off-putting about it. She magically has a different mouth than the rest of the game.
It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared.
Wow. Okay, thanks. Fuck
See?
you.
I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it.
What? Do what?
Kill me. Get it over with.
What the hell? Alice, I'm not gonna kill you, Jesus.
Still suicidal.
I don't even hate you.
You're lying. I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
I mean, alright, bitch. No one's killing anyone. Calm down. Jesus. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Oh, damn. Sigma. I mean, I know she doesn't have a
Doing
top,
this.
but...
You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
This is getting a little weird now.
That's
That's who you're after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Do they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know about myself and about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What, crying? I don't remember any crying.
Good. All right then.
Alice took a deep breath and then got shot in the head.
what?
That's like how usually most of this game goes. Someone's like, let me tell you the plot. I'm dead. Okay, well then.
Yeah.
Alice took a deep breath and began.
To be continued.
Oh no. Oh, I have to read all this. You read all this. I read like the last 3 of them.
I'm not doing the voice.
Oh yeah, I'd have to do it in her voice. Okay, I'll do it. Never mind. Give me a second.
Cause Andrew's trying to eat right now.
I need to keep up my calories, or I'll
Keep up
die.
them calories. I mean, yeah, that's what human is.
Well, I mean, I'm extra not human.
Yeah, you're like 40% of a human being. swallow. Did you get water, or are you gonna just choke on it?
I'll just choke on it. It's fine. Wait, what? How? I thought this bitch was like Cleopatra.
Yeah, they just have dumped that, as far as I can tell.
This is gonna be weird. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which was why we moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. But my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and he went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. Wait, several years later?
Yeah, he apparently never got the real
This
answer.
kid just was like, I guess Dad will be home some year.
Well, I think they might have done something was wrong with their dad, but they didn't know the story, what happened.
Okay.
We're also just confirming, by the way, that she just is a normal person.
Yeah, she's just not
Like,
Alice.
that was her as a kid, apparently.
For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was home alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face, I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I miss my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he had never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. Studying what?
Her eyes are like wobbly?
Yeah, her eyes are weird.
It looks like Captain Jack Sparrow when he closes his eyes and his eyelids have eyes painted on them.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look like they're painted on and her eyes are closed. Oh, she's holding a notepad. I thought she was holding a baby.
Oh my god.
It looks like a baby.
Kinda does, yeah.
Like that's the hood, like that's the head or hood or whatever on the baby's head, and you're holding it outward.
The hood.
You know, you bundle your baby.
It's like just a Grim Reaper baby, like, ah!
No, you just like you bundle babies.
I don't want babies in bundles.
After graduation, I took a job with the department. Or
Why did you go back to that voice?
I totally forgot who we were talking. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons. Although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had begun using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age.
He looks like Dio.
Yeah, he's just Dio.
Look, you can see he looks like Dio.
The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. It does work, by the way. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. It's because there's another one of him. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then, one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. Wait, that was the full building? It is just like a Titanic recreation, my friend.
Yeah, that's the 999 building. We saw it in that game. Do you not remember it? Yeah, we
I thought we only saw like one chunk of it.
No, this screenshot's from the 99.
Okay. I headed out immediately. That was her then?
What?
On my way
Why is
there,
she dressed like that?
Yeah, on my way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out.
What the? Why were you dressed like? Look at her fucking clothes.
She has like no feet or no shoes or anything.
She's not wearing shoes. She's barely wearing clothes. She has that that ass dress that like squeezes in the cheeks like perfectly somehow. Like it's absurd. Like it looks like she's naked. But also look at her. What's in her fucking hair? Holy shit.
Yeah.
We're supposed to think that's
Is this your work outfit?
Well, at least we could kind of accept it when it was like a supernatural crazy thing. It's like, oh yeah, that's the Ice 9 mummy that woke up from her mummy coffin. Sarcophagus, even though we were not in the right for things, we were in the fake Titanic. Yeah. But that was her being a secret agent and driving through the Nevada desert. She dressed like that? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't.
What the fuck is her wardrobe? That's costume A, and we're seeing costume B in this game. That's 2 of her wardrobe options. And then option 3 is a fucking pantsuit, like we saw a second ago in the previous scene. Yeah. It's like there's no in between. She doesn't have like a Phi costume or something where she has like shorts and a tank top or anything. It's like
it's either like I'm honoring my father's culture or I am just dressed for the office. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, out of nowhere or exactly where you thought it was. Like literally the place we were going towards.
Yeah. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I had been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place.
Wait, are we gonna say that fucking June and Santa are behind the death cult? It's a weird fucking direction.
Is a brother.
It's a weird direction to take them in.
And he did lose his sibling at a young age.
Then unlost her. Why would he have a death cult? But then also but no, because Dio doesn't look anything like Santa.
Dio's not a clone of him.
You don't think so?
Dio's a clone of another high-ranking member.
I thought all the Myrmidons were clones of Brother.
No.
What?
They were clones of high-ranking members.
What?
I think.
They're all clones of a single person. Is Myrmidons mentioned on the brother page?
Nope.
Oh, younger brother was murdered. Not June. It says brother specifically.
Maybe there's a participant in the game.
I don't think it ever said that they were based on him, huh?
No.
Huh. I think you just said that at some point.
I
believed you.
Well, because that's supposed to be him, and it looks like Dio.
Yeah. But they're all based on one person, at the very least.
My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down.
You were certain that those 2 people that are described as being different people were Myrmidons, the group of people that are all cloned in the same person?
Yes.
They're clearly 2 different people.
We don't know that. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. I 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 don't know where they I do.
Anywhere?
Probably back to Japan. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to the SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. What? 999's connected to Free the Soul?
Wait, so Ace is connected to Free the Soul?
Wait, so Ace got his kids from a cult?
Didn't Ace just want to fix his eyes? Ace just wanted to make it so he could see people correctly. What does he have to do with the death cult to end the world?
Why wouldn't you just clone? If you have the genetic ability to clone, you have the genetic ability to fix face blindness.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
That might be a leap.
He wanted to use morphogenetic fields to fix his eyes.
Yes, that's also a leap.
So I think cloning is a better chance at success. There was also a sixth person in the SUV, though they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed at in the trunk. According to the other four, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player in the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. What? You don't get to do that.
I thought he controlled it.
He did control it. It was his family's company, if I remember.
Yeah, what is this? Wait, this is like heavy retconning, isn't it? Nothing about his motivations or anything says I'm part of a death cult. They're just making it up.
I don't know. He did kill a lot of his friends, which probably would be something a death cult member would do if they believed that they'd be reincarnated.
Or he's just a Dio asshole.
He's just a Dio asshole. But that's really weird.
That doesn't work. This story development doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is full-on retconning. Like, this was not information that they wrote 999 with it in mind. They're just making shit up now.
More specifically, I suppose H was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of this before, so I'll give you a quick rundown. Okay, you can skip this.
Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of other people.
I don't know if we've said it in this playthrough yet.
We know how
Yeah, but there might be stupid people that don't remember or something. I don't know.
Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler just to call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence.
Like 50 hours into this franchise, he realizes he could have just called it telepathy. I love that little, like, behind the curtain realization that he's doing there. I was like, oh shit, morphogenic fields was a stupid name.
I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. So I got in my suit again, out of my weird fucking outfit. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. Radical 6.
At what point does it become racist that you're like, we made a character who's half Egyptian, so we gave her that hair? that's a Japanese artist was asked to draw a modern Egyptian woman. It just gave her like sarcophagus hair.
Of course you give her like the Cleopatra haircut. It's like the best haircut for an Egyptian girl.
It's like how Americans are always blonde.
Yeah.
Even though like blonde is super rare.
Yeah. But that's the thing, you have to do blonde because otherwise you wouldn't understand that it's a foreigner, because all Japanese people have brown and black hair.
And they can't draw faces to look like Americans because they only draw one face over and over again.
Well, no,
you gotta make them blonde to make them American.
No, they draw American faces Americans don't get to be anime. They draw, yeah.
You don't get to be anime.
You don't.
I actually experienced that when I read All You Need Is Kill.
Oh, yeah.
And like the Americans are like, wait, what?
Yeah, they like have weird, like very pronounced features. They're just like
cheekbones.
Yeah, they're
and
like,
noses.
hello, I'm American. It's like, okay, you're Stone Cold Steve Austin.
They've got like a Ripley face. Like their faces have like a ripple to it with all the features.
Yeah, they always take.
It's like all Americans are old people.
No, they took all Americans are just based on 80s action stars.
Yeah,
that's like literally how they draw American males. It's just 80s action stars.
What a culturally aware society.
They know the right culture.
Theirs?
No. America died in the 80s, so you might as well keep us living on.
Okay. Would you like to read instead of...
I thought I read it!
No.
Oh. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with the threat of the magnitude that and Clover was recruited. Yes, that child. Because she had been a test subject in H's experiment, we had known that she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission.
Did she even use the morphogenetic field in 99 ever?
No.
How do we know she can do it then? What if she's just not actually
Well, we know she can do it because she survived.
But she survived because other people did everything for her.
No, remember she was in puzzle rooms that she couldn't survive unless she was able to communicate with her brother.
When?
When they were children.
But we've never actually been able to confirm that. And they never actually say that specifically. And as far as we can tell, both
I mean, we've also never seen anybody but ourselves use it.
No, we haven't. It's just Junpei and Phi. And Sigma. And that's it.
Yep.
They chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
They really should have gone with Junpei, but then they couldn't make a boob slapping flash game before the game came out.
Yeah, they could have. You have one right here. And you have 3 outfits for her. She would have been she would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hope that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At least I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was a fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She'd been tied to a chair, but only on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he had just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd kill him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me. That once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and I left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was like something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers, comprised of 8s and 9s. Oh, not the 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers.
That's really impressive that when you get to the level of like literally stabbing words into your body, that you still maintain your handwriting.
That is pretty impressive, yeah.
I don't think that if I had to carve stuff into my body, it would still look like my handwriting.
I think I could do that.
It'd be some crude ass shapes.
I could do it, but only if you give me the right knife. I can't do it with I would need a scalpel, or I would need a no, seriously, like I would need a scalpel, or I would need probably a pocket knife, like a really good pocket knife, like a thin pocket knife. Like
sharp.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be sharp, but it needs to be very thin, like a pencil, because then I could do it.
It still weirds me out that they had Clover for less than a year and they already put her on a field mission.
That was weird, yeah.
Like alone?
Like alone. Honest test with another. Oh, sorry, I read that. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. A short sentence? I love you, Alice.
That's a creepy message to have carved into your body.
Ow. That's a lot. Just to say, thanks for finding me, kid.
Thanks for finding me, kiddo.
My mind defaults to like the idea of that happening to Kratos from God of War, and he just writes "boy" on his chest.
Boy.
He's just like, boy. The kid finds him and he's like, well, at least he died doing what he always loved, yelling at me. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I had shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There should have been no forgiveness, or there would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die for it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. Are we done? It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he had written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the motherlode that we've been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions on our enemy's fortress, to our enemy's fortress on his own body.
So they captured him and somehow exposed him to the information of the latitude and longitude of their base?
Yeah.
How do you fuck that up? Also, she broke into the actual Myrmidon headquarters and never found a single confirmation of what their faces look like? Which are all the same?
Yeah.
Not even one.
He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time our operation would succeed. This time I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time, we gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. And December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold.
Oh, never mind. They haven't gone inside yet. So this is the Myrmidon stronghold. You were right. You were right.
Oh, no.
This base is the Myrmidon HQ.
I didn't want to be right.
Why was Dio breaking into their own HQ to plant a bomb? Why is Dio even in the Nonary game if he can just plant bombs in his own base? Why is a Nonary game happening in the Myrmidon HQ? I have so many questions.
Welcome to 999.
What the fuck is happening?
But then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared.
Oh, is this not the Myrmidon HQ? Because they got kidnapped. Shit.
So you went,
So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room?
Yes.
Why didn't you just fucking
Well, there it is.
voice
Everything
act?
that's happened with the Myrmidons
Everything?
and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just stop whenever they feel like it.
Well, was it? What was it?
That's just Japanese games.
Is it
I don't
too
know why. I
expensive?
don't know where that standard came from, but they just stop voice acting whenever they feel like it.
Couldn't afford to have the girl read the damn fucking novel?
I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks.
Otherwise, we would have been here until we died.
She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs, and based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon, right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but
How can we do
I
that?
told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's the key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Sigma, my man, please. Like, you can't be asking them kind of questions like that.
I'm mad at Sigma for not knowing what a key to a code is, but I'm also mad at her for saying a key is a key. A fucking, like, recursive definition.
I bet he doesn't even know what the answer is. The writer's just like, what is a key?
Oh, no, I read it in a James Bond book once. Fuck it.
What? Okay, it's okay.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, it's okay, Bond.
Yeah, so the original books are all narrated by Sean Connery, obviously.
Dude, I would love that. I would buy those books in a heartbeat. Today I'm James Bond. It's going to be a great book. Thank you for buying.
Wait, a long string of numbers. Could that be?
Oh my god.
Fuck, you gotta be kidding me. I forgot about this.
Where we saw the numbers?
Yeah, I totally forgot about this.
Oh my god.
Also, those look like spacesuits. I'm convinced you're on the space.
No, we're not in space.
You're in the moon.
No. Oh my god, Sigma.
7815361098.
It's a good thing he has that photographic memory we've established.
Through time.
Yeah, damn.
8380942419905551.
Morphogenic memory.
Morphogenic photographic memory.
God damn.
What the hell?
I was almost as surprised as she was. The numbers had just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing.
That pun did not work, by the way. Did you see the achievement?
No.
See, it said he was convicted of a series of numbers. I think they went for murders, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
No. Wait, so no one was writing down those numbers he just spouted off? I hope he remembered them.
Of course he remembered them.
Well, no, he said he's like the numbers that just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing.
Oh, well, he probably remembers them anyway.
Okay.
Because he does that.
Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait. Can you say that again?
78.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
Fucking what? Wait.
What?
What?
That number you just told me. Prime factor decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
How good at math are you?
You're talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it right?
That's the thing you know, Sigma?
What the fuck?
But you don't know what a key is for a code?
God damn it.
What the fuck? What is this writing?
I really...
Hexagons!
What is Sigma?
Hexagons everywhere!
Yeah.
Like if you have 30, then you'd get 2 times 3 times 5, right?
Exactly. You probably learned that in junior high, right?
Oh shit, did we learn that in junior high? I don't remember.
Oh boy. Oh wait, just factoring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that that number is a prime? And if you multiply it by itself 3 times, you'd get that number?
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Don't tell me you just did all that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head.
That's what she said.
Love me.
Simple mental arithmetic.
Simple?
What? No way. That's impossible.
No, it's not impossible, Sigma. It's just not practical.
Hard.
Yeah.
Is your collar a calculator?
I told you. I'm
Good.
better at math than most people.
She just presses the scarab beetle and it's like... she just says the number. She's like,
Siri, what's the square root of a lot of numbers?
what if it comes back in Waspinator's voice from Transformers? It's just like, the number you're looking for is this one! The third root is 5 billion! It's the number you're looking for!
Jesus Christ.
Waspinator, please don't talk.
Look at you. You just recited a huge string of numbers. That seems pretty astounding, too.
Well, I did that because I have time travel powers. I mean, wait.
That's also just memory.
Mine is more impressive. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
You're right. You do suck.
yeah.
Where did you find that number anyway?
What if I told you Dio was a Myrmidon? Like,
Also, you were looking for more occurrences than number 6, and this is a room where every direction we look in is a hexagon. In every direction.
oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
All 6 directions. Right. No, maybe that's wrong.
I didn't know what to say. What would I tell her, that I just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys.
They do? Wait, you know that? Then what? Wait, what?
Well, they said they studied their codes.
Then
We've
wouldn't
just
you
been waiting for
know
evidence of
if
that.
they use prime factors? Then why do you have to know the specific string?
Because it's a very long, specific string. Isn't it really specific calculations like the basis of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, computers do it all day, every day.
Yeah, but you need to know the string, or... God damn it. You can't just make it up.
You kind of
That's the basis of it.
That's what bit mining is.
It's not, no.
And there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone.
Could you explain that with small words?
Come on, I understood that, Sigma. And you just did the thing where you paraphrased what she said a moment ago. I mean, you were following along. Make up your mind about whether or not you understand what she's saying.
Sigma's lovable.
Factors of your number.
No.
198,449,350. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first row was... that.
And the second row?
I think. Then they just repeat.
Wow, you've got a pretty impressive memory. We could really use someone like you back at the...
Well, keep going. How do I get this job?
198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
How do we do that?
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Then 8 from that one.
God, this is a lot of work.
I like that the voice, I like that the lip sync for that line was just map. That was all the lip flapping she did.
Just keep
Sometimes
going until you
it
get
does that.
Makes sense?
I ran over what she said in my head.
What you did? You're gonna do all of that in your head?
The prime number Alice had given me was that one. So, what would we get if we picked out the letters like she had explained? The first letter would be C from the top left. Then you move 9 to the right, which would give you O. Then A moved to the right, eventually get a word, and the word was...
Oh, shit. We actually have to do this.
Here,
All right. You have 6 chances to succeed, or otherwise there's a game over.
What? Okay, hold on. So, yeah, it would be wise to solve it now.
What?
Yeah.
The code sheet won't be displayed when you input your answer, so you have to write it down now.
Yes.
Okay.
So C.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, M. 1, 2,
P.
3, 4. Comp.
L.
L. I.
I got E.
Oh. Oh.
4 for P, 4 for L, then 9 again, right?
Wait. Sorry. Complete. E.
Yeah, I got E.
And then 2, 3, 4,
T.
5. T?
Next number's 3.
Oh, right.
I think you're losing track of the numbers.
Yeah. T. And then 5 would be E again.
Yeah.
Complete.
And then D.
Completed.
Is that just the whole word?
Yep.
Is it really completed? And then we're gonna type in and the game's gonna say completed.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get a game over.
I mean, I did it right.
It's gonna be meta. Are you ready for meta?
What the fuck is that?
How do I say yes? Oh, there it is.
Check.
Right. I forgot for a second.
Clear.
Oh, it says clear. I thought it said completed on this screen.
Oh, no.
Are there other puzzles that say completed?
No.
Shit.
I did it. Completed. That's it. That's the answer.
Completed? Are you sure?
Yeah. I did exactly what you told me to do. And the word I got is completed. Well, actually, it's completed. Completed. The code and the letter repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
All right, then. I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
What? Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete. So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
I barely even heard her.
What?
What's funny is we could kind of clearly explain to her what's going on because she already understands what morphogenic fields are.
Yeah.
But I don't think Sigma's figured out
No.
that he's using morphogenic fields, so she can't even help us understand.
Somehow.
Suddenly my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment before. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath.
Wait. Oh shit, are we beating the game?
Oh my god!
Do we have enough information to actually go to the end?
Nah, I think this is still the ending where we explode.
Oh. Okay.
I think this is the one that we had foreshadowed where we die hugging Fi as all the bombs explode.
I'll believe you.
Holy Father, Holy Brother, Holy Master, my sacred mission is at last completed. With these 2 hands, mankind is saved. I am your well-made flesh. In your name, I give thanks.
Why is there a microphone on these suits?
So you can talk to each other?
That's dumb.
Why?
I'd rather not.
You just pick
Damn it.
You pick really arbitrary things to have be dumb.
Why hadn't I realized it before? I could remember a series of numbers, but not this. At last I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. And not just any member, he was their leader.
What?
Why do we think that?
Why do we think that?
Why do we think that? Wait, why do we think it's the leader? They're all identical. How would we know which one's the leader? What?
What?
I don't know.
That means he had to be the one who planted the bombs.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely, she'd just think I was insane.
She already knows about the morphogenic fields. We just had a conversation about it a minute ago.
I don't think you understand how conversations
What the
work.
fuck, Sigma?
More than likely, she just, even I could barely make sense of the sudden influx of new information.
Also, by the way, I just want to point out the fact that Sigma keeps forgetting stuff in this game, and it was minor detail. We haven't brought this up in our previous complaints, but it's worth mentioning with the key and the murder weapon and everything. Photographic memory.
Yeah.
We've established specifically he doesn't forget shit that he's seen.
Well,
Except those 2 times.
so those 2 times.
Those 2 really big times.
Yeah. Those 2 times when it's important.
God damn it. He has a photographic memory, but he can't correlate a key with the shape of the back of fucking K's head.
Look, Sigma's a database. He can't put the clues together. All he can do is store the information.
He's a database that doesn't have basic Excel functions.
No. No, he's not. He's fucking
But
like...
he just did that.
That's not basic
Look
Excel.
at the decoding thing he just did. But he can't do shape looks like shape. But he's like, he can decode the 3rd prime root of a fucking cipher of a fucking Illuminati cult. But he can't like circle looks like circle.
I can't help you, man. I'm trying my best.
Fucking writing in this game.
I'm trying. Look, I'm trying to be on the defensive side here, but I can't solve every problem. Look, I ain't no Superman. Like, can't fix this shit.
And that was the same timeline. That wasn't even magic.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was, do you really think I'd reveal myself like this?
Point.
Like,
I don't know where Clover appeared.
so to fix the story, literally all you had to do was have the timeline where we see his head and the timeline where we find the key be two different timelines.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And in fact, that's how this game works mechanically. That's the whole, like, unlock that book mechanic that happens in the flowchart.
Yeah.
They just had to do it that way.
Yeah.
And they fucked it up.
Yep. What if the password to the computer...
Also, they just still haven't realized that Dio had the murder weapon.
What if the password to
That
the
just
computer
never has come up.
completed?
What was that?
So what if the password to the computer problem was completed?
What was the other password?
Milk Dawn.
The milk thing?
Yeah, it was like milk
No,
something.
I think completed's unrelated because it's fucking Dio's like message he was sending out. The like, my mission's complete.
No. Yes.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Clark.
Why?
They're dead again.
We've still got 45 minutes until the white doors open.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought UK and Quark didn't know about the white doors.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were. So we all followed him down to the floor B warehouse.
Sigma, of all the things you're not suspicious of, you get suspicious of the fact that while you've been gone for like an hour, people learned about where to go next in the linear puzzle that you're in. That's what she's questioning. Like, not only is Sigma questioning that, the writer felt like this is a line that had to be specified, is who told Clover about the white doors.
Yeah.
Like, that's a canonical thing that has to be established, of all things.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah. Anyway, when we showed up, Phi and Kay were already there.
So,
All of a sudden, Phi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
what?
Why?
Because Dio's a murderer.
Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AB game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had one BP, Phi had chosen Betray. They started a fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged into it too.
That seems odd. Phi only had one BP too. Her choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
Ugh. Just come with me. Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
No, there's actually two of them. I've been waiting all game to say that.
Well, last 10 hours of the game.
All 10 hours of this game.
Okay. Come on, Alice, let's go.
Coming!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh.
Beep, 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 beep. Boom.